there, friends. Welcome back to Second Star to the Left. I'm Michelle, and this is my daughter, Billy.
Hi.
And here's where we'll share board game reviews, ramblings, and a few wrong turns along the scenic route. We wanted to do a Mother's Day video because what says Mother's Day more than, hey mom, let's play a game? You should remember that. And while we've already had my mom on to talk about how I learned to love all these games, we thought it might be fun to talk about games that moms might like. And then we thought, that's just a silly thing to say. That's like saying games people might like, because I know a lot of moms and they all like different things, and some of them like big, heavy, giant games, and some of them don't really like games at all. So instead, I'm going to share some of the games that I like to share with the moms that are in my life. So these are my suggestions for those, and maybe they'll apply to some people that you know in your life as well. A lot of the moms in my life like nature. They like to go outside and hike and bird watch and just be out in nature. So the first game that I thought would be great is a game about birds. Nope, not that one. We don't own that one. But instead, I want to recommend Peep Mats, which is made by Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback. Those names sound familiar? Yeah, they should. They're from some of my favorite roll and writes, like Fleet and Three Sisters and Motor City coming up.
But this isn't a roll and write.
No, this isn't a roll and write. I don't actually know.
You've never played it with me.
Mother's Day, you should say, hey mom, want to play a game? This will be a running theme here. This is a beautiful, beautiful little card game about birds at your feeder. So what you're doing in this card game is lining up the feeder full of seeds or sometimes bad things like crows and squirrels get near the feeder.
But you're filling it full of crows and squirrels?
No, they just go near the feed because you can get a bad card too, right? And you're taking a card from your hand and you're going to put it onto the perch next to the feeder. And then you're going to add to the ground birds that are waiting their turn patiently, because apparently they're much nicer than the birds in my yard.
Oh, this sounds lovely.
And you're going to add up the amount of the numbers on the cards. They're little colored and numbered cards. And if the difference between the cards on the ground and the bird at the perch is 1 through 4, then you take whichever seed card is at that level on the bird feeder. If it's greater than 4, if it's 5 or more, then you take a random seed card that you don't get to pick yourself or try to get. Basically, you're just trying to take the bird from the perch and get it into your hand. Those birds will score points based on pairs of birds, little couples, little boy bird and little girl bird. You can house rule this however you want, but they will score you points, and then you also will score points for birds that you personally have the most of. So you're set collecting, doing a teeny little bit of math, and you're feeding the pretty birds at the feeder. What could be wrong with that? Also, the art in this is absolutely charming. So that's my first recommendation. We also backed some bird watching games on...
We did.
Yeah, we backed Birds of a Feather, which is another card game, and we backed Bird Watcher, which is one where you're like looking at the birds in the trees and you can scare them off to other people's trees.
Scare them off of other people's trees.
No, they leave your tree at a certain point. If you make too much noise or whatever the condition is, they fly away.
I thought you scared them away from other people so they couldn't have them.
Oh, I hope you can. That would be way more fun. Anyway, we'll let you know about those when they show up. But for now, this one is here, and you should try it if you can. I have 2 other nature-themed games, both of which we've talked about before, so neither of which should be surprised. But for those moms who like to go out in nature, we have Parks. And I would definitely include the Nightfall expansion if you play, so that you can have tiny little tents. Also, it just kind of smooths out some wrinkles and makes the game play a little bit better. Beautiful art of all the national parks, and you get to just kind of take a nice stroll through the national parks.
Every single card has absolutely stunning artwork on it.
It really does. And, you know, if you have a nature-loving mom... this is going to be one to play. I think a lot of people have already played or tried or heard of Parks, so we're not going to spend too much time describing how it works. But I do recommend giving it a try if you have a mom that likes to go out in nature.
It's a good way to tell your mom, go away, go to a park.
No. The last nature game I have is Cascadia, which is just so beautiful and relaxing. I absolutely adore this game.
Land of the Field Salmon.
Land of the Field Salmon. I love the art by Beth Sobel. We do giggle every time when there's a beautiful yellow field and then a place to put the salmon. So I think we should get extra points for field salmon. But this is just a nice, relaxing tile place. Yeah, I did it right that time.
You did it.
This is just a nice, relaxing tile placement game where you're just creating patterns to meet the scoring conditions. And you can mix up those scoring conditions every game. We just really like this one. It's not hard to learn. It's really fun to, figure out that puzzle. Also, my sister kicks my butt at this game all the time, so... If you have some moms in your life who maybe don't want to go hiking and camping, but just want to do a little bit of traveling, I suggest 2 of what we're going to call travel games, although it's a little bit of a stretch, but the first one would be one of our favorites from last year, and that is Land versus Sea.
Wherever you go, just make sure you're traveling to a place with a big table.
Yes, this game, even though it's a little box, will take up a lot of space on the table. I love this game for the art. If you're looking for a bit of an adventure and you're looking for some really cool medieval manuscript art while you're out there, I recommend Land vs. Sea. Again, a really simple game to teach for anybody, but it's not necessarily a simple game. That's the kind of games that I like. So, hey, Mother's Day, I get to pick. The next one I want to recommend to the ones that want to go traveling instead of hiking through the national forests is Paris, la Cité de la Lumière. Again, my French is never going to be good.
I just call
here.
it Paris.
Yeah, mostly we just call it Paris, but I did give it a go. This is a 2-player only game, so, get ready to have a nice little kind of mean game with your mom. It's really beautiful, though. Looks like the streets of Paris lit up at night, and the idea is to build out the cobblestones in the city and then use polyomino tiles to place down the buildings and light them with lamplight. And whoever covers the most ground is going to win. It sounds easy. It's a lot harder to actually do. The rules are simple. Winning is a little harder. Again, these are the kind of games I really, really like. You've heard me talk about this a lot, same as Land vs. Sea, because these are 2 of our favorites from last year, and therefore 2 of the games that you should play on Mother's Day. But Michelle, you say, what if you don't want to go out of the house? Sometimes...
I couldn't even imagine a person like that.
Sometimes some of us hermits really like to just curl up on the couch with a nice book. So I have the answer for you. I would recommend Paperback by Tim Fowers with really wonderful art by Ryan Goldberry. This one is a straight deck builder. You are just building up the deck to be able to make more words, to be able to write your novel. You start with the common letters, just like as if you were playing Wheel of Fortune, and you can make common words. And then as you buy more cards, you can make better words.
Like aardvark.
I don't think you can make aardvark for a while.
I don't think you can make aardvark.
You're trying to make the best word you can out of the cards in your hand. And I believe you get 5 cards up into your hand or 7, but there are cards as you build up your deck that allow you to draw more cards so that you'll have more letters to make a better word, to get more points, to get more letters, to make better words, to write a novel. And the art on the novels is adorable. It's like dime store, paperback, adventure novels, and
so good.
Noir mystery novels. It's really wonderful. It's a game, again, that's easy to teach. It's never dry or boring. Some people don't like Scrabble, and some people aren't great at Scrabble.
Some people don't like Scrabble, and some people have good opinions.
But this way, you're not trying to come up with the most complicated word you can. You're trying to come up with the word that you can build out of the cards in front of you, which that takes the pressure off having to be able to come up with all these unique words. You have what you have in your hand. So like any deck builder, after your turn, those cards are used and you're going to draw back up. So you're not holding on to cards or letters like in Scrabble, where you can hold on to that really valuable letter until you can use it. You're just playing like it's a deck builder. It's a really fun card game. There's also hardback. I go back and forth between which one I like best, but for now, we're going to stick with the original Paperback.
I'm really excited about Paperback Adventures.
Yes, Paperback Adventures is going to get here soon-ish. We backed it on Kickstarter, and it is a solo adventure campaign version of paperback, so I cannot wait for that one. If you're curled up on the couch with a good book, or, even at the table with a good book writing game, you might want to have with you your cat. Nothing says nap like a cat on a quilt. So the other one I would recommend for those who would like to stay in with a good book and a snuggly cat is Calico. Again, a game that has fairly simple rules. In fact, I know you can play it in like family mode and take out the more puzzly bits.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had to yet. And you're just making a nice quilt for kitties to curl up on. You're collecting some nice buttons to put on it, and your brain just goes, ah, while you do it.
It's a very peaceful game.
It is. I know that a lot of people think this is a stressful game. I don't think it's a stressful game. I think you just have to accept that you're not going to win every single challenge that's on your board. You're going to have to focus on some and just let the others go. But I would recommend this one as a game for people who are ready to like step up just a tiny bit, but really enjoy a puzzle game. Plus, Calico.
But that's not even a calico on the cover. I'm still mad about that.
It's a quilt. It's the Calico quilt.
Okay, but the cat is not a calico.
It's a little orange tabby.
Tabby is not a calico.
In case you were wondering which of these I would like to play for Mother's Day, in case you were wondering.
Do you want to pick it up and put it out?
It's right there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm way ahead of you. I would happily play any of these games that I have recommended. However, my family has been told, not sure which, that what I would really like for Mother's Day is to play a game that I have been looking forward to for a very long time, but haven't gotten to the table. And I even said, if no one wants to play it with me, that's fine. I would just like to be able to play it myself, uninterrupted. Spend time with your mom for Mother's Day in case what she really wants is to just be left alone for a little bit. It could go either way. That game, oh my God, it's so heavy.
Don't crush the teacup.
I won't crush the teacup. That game is Obsession. This big, heavy brick of a box has been sitting for far too long on my unplayed games shelf. I have set it up to learn the rules. I am ready to play, and I will play solo or I will play with someone. It's all good with me. But this weekend, we're going to play this. It combines all my nerdy favorite things. It's like Pride and Prejudice, the board game. And
actually, it says Pride, Intrigue, and Prejudice.
Yeah. Because for legal reasons, it's not. Also, look, I'll have a nice cup of tea or water.
They don't need to know it's not tea. It's too hot up here for tea.
I will put Colin Firth Pride and Prejudice on the TV and sit and play Obsession. So, ask your mom what she wants for Mother's Day. Maybe she wants to try one of these games. I promise what she really wants is to spend time with you, so any of them are probably good. Or maybe you might have to actually, go outside and walk in nature if that's what she wants. Don't worry, you're safe. Yay! Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and I hope you get to do something really fun. Let me know which of these you might play with your mom.
None of these. I don't think I'd play any of these with my mom.
If you like what you see,
or if you'd like to keep watching until we get one right,
then please like, subscribe, and share. If you'd like to follow us on social media, including on our Discord, then all that information will be down below. As always, open tables, open minds, and play your shelves.
Bye!
So, no, stop saying so. So. And if it's less, then you just, I don't remember, so we're going to skip that part.
You should leave that in.
Leave that out. This is going to be a bugger to edit because it keeps getting lighter and darker. I'm watching it in here, but there's not much we can do about it now. So.
What did we just say?
Yeah, I know, just put it over there. You don't have to stack it.
You said we were going to put it over there.
I lied.
She's untrustworthy.